Harbor Freight's Predator 205cc engine. That's about 6.5, 7 horsepower. For the price, you really can't go wrong. So, nice little owner's manual here. It comes with its own spark plug socket, isn't that nice? Nicely packed in foam. What I'm going to do, I'm going to keep this all nice and tidy, just in case this engine happens to be a dud and we have to take it back. And there she is. Again, we'll keep everything together just in case. Nice little protection there for the shaft. 3/4 inch shaft, common for 5 to 8 horsepower engines. Of course, they ship with no oil in them, so. Here. Now, they all have a very standard bolt pattern on the bottom there. They have this one oblong, just in case somebody's a little different. Give you a little adjustability there. So we're going to set this on here just to kind of get a look at how this sits here. Looks like that'll do right nicely. Lines up good on the slots. And what we'll do is this housing can rotate. Rotate it around and get the tool rope where we want it. We won't worry about that for right now. Oh. It actually comes with a keyway for the shaft. That's you don't usually see that, but usually gotta end up buying that. But before we go worrying about making this thing too pretty, let's get it together and see if we can make it run. Okay, as I said, we're going to rotate that housing around a little bit, starter housing, so our pull rope is going back this way. Standard 5/16, a little tight. clutch part. Lubed it up real good. Lube up this little bushing in here with some high temp, high pressure lithium grease. Bring that bad boy back together all nice and pretty. And I guess for those of you who care, now the centrifugal clutch, you know, the inside portion goes to the engine and rotates, okay? And inside you have these little shoes, alright, that are held in with springs. And as this inside piece, which is hooked to the motor, spins, as it idles, the springs hold the shoes in, and there's no power being transmitted to this outside drum. But as the engine speeds up, when you give it gas, these shoes sling out due to centrifugal force, hence why they call it a centrifugal clutch, and grab the outside of this and start turning it as well, ergo turning the sprocket and the chain and the wheels. So these things are pretty indestructible. They don't usually ever wear out. And they have a little snap ring that holds the whole operation together here. We slide that on there like so. Okay, now that we have our clutch all back together with the little snap ring that holds the whole thing on there, and it spins nice and free. Now we're going to put it on the engine. Alright, I've got the engine mounted up nice, and got the chain on there and all that. Now I went ahead and put oil in this motor. Now remember, if you buy a new one, they don't come shipped with any oil, so make sure you stop by the auto parts and pick up some oil and pick up some gas on the way home. Now, once you put the oil in, before you ever put any gas in it, since it's a brand new motor, I'm going to suggest that you always take the spark plug out and maybe just shoot a little tiny bit of WD-40 down in there. Probably overkill, but you know, just a quick blast. Keep everything lubed up. In case the thing's been sitting in a warehouse for 8 months and doesn't have any lube in the top of the engine. And while you got the plug out, go ahead and pull it real nice and easy. You don't want to rip it hard because you'll spray out that WD-40 you just put in there. And this does two things. One, it spreads that WD-40 around, you just spray it in the plug hole. And two, it'll start circulating that oil you just put in the engine block. That way you're not starting a dry engine. And when you're done, put your plug back in. Always thread them in carefully, since they're, you know, these heads are aluminum and they're very easy to strip if you're not careful. Try and ham fist the plug in there, you'll have all kinds of problems. So now, some of the other things we're going to have to deal with on this is, you know, this motor, it's a universal motor, and it has just a regular manual hand throttle here for, you know, doing whatever you're going to do with it. You know, like if it's on a tiller or something like that. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to adapt the gas pedal linkage to it. So we'll have to figure something out with that. We don't want to bypass the governor because that's what keeps the engine from overspeeding and blowing into a million pieces. So we'll get to that in the next segment. Right now, I need to run up to the gas station and get some gas. And we'll fire this bad boy up and see how she sounds.